Peter after losing everything. Luke 5:1-11. The story of Peter in Luke 5:1-11 is one of the most inspiring moments in the Bible. It shows how Jesus can turn loss into blessing and failure into purpose. Peter was a fisherman, a hard-working man who depended on his daily catch to survive. But one night, he and his partners labored endlessly, casting their nets again and again, yet caught nothing. For Peter, that was more than just a bad night. It was a moment of deep disappointment and discouragement. He had lost everything he worked for, and his heart was weary. While Peter was cleaning his empty nets on the shore, Jesus appeared. The Lord stepped into Peter's boat and asked him to push out a little from the land so he could teach the crowd. When Jesus finished speaking, he turned to Peter and said, "Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Peter hesitated. He said, "Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing." Those words came from a man who had tried his best and failed. But then, in an act of faith, he added, "But because you say so, I will let down the nets." That moment of obedience changed everything. As soon as Peter obeyed, the nets filled with so many fish that they began to break. Peter was overwhelmed. He realized that the one in his boat was no ordinary man. This was the Lord of heaven and earth. In awe and humility, Peter fell to his knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man." But Jesus did not reject him. Instead, he said, "Do not be afraid. From now on, you will fish for people." In that instant, Peter's life was transformed. He had lost his catch, his strength, and his hope. But through Jesus, he found a new calling, a greater purpose. He left behind his boat, his nets, and his old life to follow Christ. This story teaches us that even when we lose everything, God is not finished with us. Our emptiness becomes the place where Jesus works his miracles. When we obey him, even when it doesn't make sense, he fills our lives with abundance and purpose. Like Peter, our losses can become the beginning of something far greater, a divine calling to follow Jesus.